Peace. This is James with Pan African Designs. Today I'm gonna come to family. Not sure how many people gonna actually show up, but it's really not. This is gonna be recorded, so I'll be able to share this later on. So I'm not expecting too many people to show up and participate because like most of us, within our nature, it's about popularity. So the people that we normally need to be listening to, we normally don't listen to them. We listen to the most popular people within our culture. So what I'm trying to talk about today is monetization and its effect on Pan-Africanism, or the actual movement that we say we have, or that we call ourselves having. Actually, also to ask, like for the people that's most popular that's doing this monetization that we're following, or expecting to try to lead us into a some kind of plan, a 2-year plan, a 4-year plan, a 10-year plan, 50-year plan, 100-year plan, something that where we can start seeing some type of real movement. We're expecting certain people to use their media to help us get out of the situation that we're in. But if you notice, none of these people actually seem to have a plan. So I'm asking, where is the plan, and is monetization actually the reason why these people continue to put forth information that's not conducive for us actually moving forward with the plan, or even seeing something within the next 2 to 4 years? We call ourselves Pan-Africans. A lot of us have already been dealing with the system of racism and white supremacy, or non-African supremacy, which means anything that's non-African. They've delegated us to the bottom of the totem pole as far as the human species, when actually we're the first humans on the actual planet. I don't want to deviate off of what I'm saying, but they pretty much relegated us and delegated us to being monkeys or non-humans. But I want scientifically, we are the purest humans on the planet. So when people call us anything other than human, it's actually the other species that are less human-like than us. Okay, so yesterday I was watching. I try to support everybody. I try to support Sinetta TV. I try to support a lot of these different platforms. But yesterday I found a disturbing video with this person named General Yohana, which is a what they call a Hebrew Israelite, where he was actually blatantly disrespecting Dr. Ben and saying that he was some kind of agent. And this was on Sinetta's platform, which he's supposed to be a Pan-African. Now, what I want to say about Sinetta is I have questions to ask the brother, because the way that he's going about conducting himself as a Pan-African is actually confusing. He's been in the forefront for many years, and I respect certain things that the brother does, but then I'm confused by certain things that the brother does as well. We've dealt with the history. He has good programs as far as dealing with the history. He has some honorable brothers like Brother Reggie, Infodisi Jehudi Mas, Professor Smalls, Shaka Abmos, and it's a couple of other brothers that I can't name. The cities that they have on it seem to be about genuine African liberation and moving the culture forward. And sometimes it is necessary for a like species, meaning all Africans of different ideologies, to come together to debate, so we can decipher and get the chronology together as far as our history, as far as the African species. I say species because you have different type of species on this planet. Like you have the animals like cats. There are certain species. You have dogs. There are certain species which goes from the dogs to the wolves. You have all different type of species, but we're a part of the human species, and so that's why I use that term to not, because we use spell words like humans and that kind of gets us confused. So I'm just going to use the word species to kind of keep it simple for right now. But the brother had this guy, and I'm gonna with this technology, it's great because I will be able to share my screen, and I mean, this really, I mean, it's a lot of stuff that I haven't been able to do that we're able to do with this technology, and that's another point that I may touch on later on within this broadcast. It's like the debates and the lecturing that we're doing at this particular point, I think is frivolous, and I think that we really don't even need to actually meet up like that to debate history. You know, we could talk about that, like the Amara Squad debate that they're having about. I think they're having about it. The meta has been deciphered. You know, they could have did that just like I'm doing this now, and just like they do all these other Google Hangouts that they do. They could have did that on the YouTube platform where everybody can get a chance to see it, and we can disseminate the information and come up with the conclusion so we can move forward. What I'm saying is, we don't need to keep doing the ring around the rosy with the information. We need to set a chronological order and stick to that. Now, people that's dealing with the Nile Valley information, we already pretty much say that that's the beginning of our chronology as far as written text. I'm not saying that that's the beginning of African history or the beginning of mankind. What I'm saying is that is when we started documenting, when we came up with a writing system, which all other writing systems derive from. You know, so it's a chronological order in which stuff takes place in life. Like you once was one, then you become 2, 3, 4, and so forth. Once you couldn't talk, then you learn how to talk. So it goes on like that. That's what chronology is. So when we deal with history, the European has set a date of 2016, and that's the date that we're going from that date and then moving forward chronologically through history. So there, what I'm saying is basically they have started history where they started at, and that's the history that we're dealing with. We're not dealing with African history from our inception and when we started writing and telling our story. That is what we're trying to convey. Those that have found this information of trying to convey to our family to try to get us off of what we have been indoctrinated with through slavery. The indoctrination that they did was forced upon us by violence. We didn't come to this information, you know, with a pure understanding or a pure heart. Like this is something that we created or something that we understand. This is something that was actually put into our people through fear. What I want to say is, it seems like we're denying the for the Africans in America, we're denying the 400 years of enslavement when we don't listen to the other Africans that have went back, like the Dr. John Henry Clark, the Sheikh Anta Diop's, the Dr. Ben, and many more that I can't name everybody because it's so many. But we have ancestors that went back and got that history, and we don't even appreciate it, acknowledge it. It seems as though we're playing with that particular part of what they've done for us to try to get our people on the same page. We have to get on the same page historically so that we can fight, so that we can learn, so we know how to fight. If you don't know that Europeans have a Neanderthal, let me just put it like this. If you don't know that all non-Africans have a Neanderthal gene pool within them, which makes them look different from us, it's not through, see, some of us are going by old, outdated information that says that all humans are derived from the African. Well, in science or in real scholarship, things change when information is discovered or new information is discovered. And it has been discovered that all non-Africans, meaning the Asian and the European, Arabs, Hispanics, all of those people with the stringy hair that doesn't look like Africans, they have what you call a Neanderthal gene. They also have another gene for the Asian, which makes them look a little different. It starts with the D. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, but I can show you actually what gene that they're talking about that actually makes up the Asian gene. So what they're saying is there were other outside human-like species that we wound up interbreeding with, which gave them some of our human, which gave us some of our Homo sapiens sapien gene pool. We actually out-procreated those people, those other human-like species, and that's why they have our DNA in them. But they are not exactly us, and that's what we're getting confused historically, that all humans are the same. No, they're not. And by the way we're being treated, we should be able to recognize that. Okay, so I don't want to deviate too far back off into this into what I was talking about with the monetization and what the actual this actual podcast or actual hangout is about. Now, this General Yahana, or however you pronounce his name, was very disrespectful. I'm gonna play this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play exactly so you guys will know what I'm talking about. That the brother said, and how Sinetta is giving these people a platform to be disrespectful to our ancestors and our elders that actually did the due diligence to give us this history. So give me a second. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to black this out for a second so you guys won't be able to see me, but I'll come back in a second. But I'm going to share this video that Sinetta shared maybe yesterday with the ISUPK, which is a Hebrew Israelite group, actually just being blatantly disrespectful to Dr. Ben and his legacy. And I'm really disappointed that Sinetta continues to give these people the platform to disrespect our history like this. So let me black my screen out, and then I'm going to go into this video, and then I'm going to come back in just a second. So hold on a second, peace. Now I mean y'all can still hear me, so give me a second as I share my screen. Okay, see, like right now they're live. See, that's the monetization stuff that I'm talking about. 1,400 views. This is how they make money off of your viewership. They have when you click on the videos, it's a commercial on the videos, and those commercials is actually how Sinetta and brothers like Brother Polite, Dr. Umar, and a lot of these people have found out about this monetization. And I think because of the monetization, it has them. It's kind of like you're being bought and paid for. You know what I mean? I don't see the video. Maybe he took it down. Oh, okay. No, he didn't. Okay, here it is right here. So I want y'all to listen to this.
All this hold cat. I ain't seen a quarter come out of Egypt yet. Now I got to drop a bombshell on you. I have to drop something on him, Muhammad. Where Muhammad at? He told me walk up there. I'm gonna have to let it down. I'm gonna have to drop something on him, Muhammad. I gotta give him a little knowledge today. I gotta give him a little taste. How many of y'all heard of Dr. Ben before? Raise your hand. I'm going there. Going right there, stepping right into your world. How many of y'all heard of Dr. Ben before? A lot of y'all. Let me tell you something you don't know about Dr. Ben. How many of y'all knew that Dr. Ben was a United Nations spy? Come on, I said it. You know we prove all things. You know we prove all things. Dr. Ben worked for the UN, but not just for the UN. A lot of people don't know that. Go check his history out. He did work for the UN. And go check out who he worked for in the UN. In the UN, Dr. Ben worked for UNESCO. Anybody know who UNESCO is? I know you don't. That's why UNESCO is. UNESCO is the archaeological wing of the Illuminati.
Okay, family, that's enough of that. Hold on, let me get back to my screen. I don't even know if it actually showed, but I'm pretty sure y'all heard what he was saying. Now, what he's saying is Dr. Ben was a spy, you know, or some type of an agent. And I don't even understand what the hell did it have to do with what the history. The man was dealing with history. What did that have to do with the history that he brought forth to African people? Why is Sinetta even entertaining stuff like that? You know, what does that have to do with us trying to put forth a plan for our people so that we can start moving forward and start to right the ship and get out of last place? I mean, this stuff is so frustrating. I mean, I didn't get into this to actually to be playing, man. I got into this with an actual genuine purpose to try to see our people move forward. And if they're not going to actually set forth some kind of agenda, then I guess I have to set forth an agenda for us. And then, like I said, it would be great if some people would chime in. I don't know if I'm doing this wrong because I see 0 viewers. So maybe I didn't share the link right. I don't know what the hell I'm doing wrong. But I know that I can share this later on with with the family so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Now, what am I talking about monetization? Let me say monetization. Let me black out my screen so I can read exactly what to you guys what the actual monetization actually stands for. Hold on. Okay, now this is the definition of monetization. Monetization means that you can authorize the presence of advertisement on your videos, and YouTube charges advertising for these and share the feeds with you, allow you to make some money from people viewing your videos. Now the split on this is a 60-40 split, and I'm not saying. And I'm not hating on the brothers for getting money, but when it starts to become, or it starts to seem like you are morally compromised for monetization dollars, then that's where I have the issue with brothers like Sinetta and whoever else, because it's no way that they should even be entertaining those brothers after we've already had a debate with them historically to find out where is our beginning at. That is the only thing that we should be concerned with, is finding out where historically we should start our clock at. Now we have history, we have documentation of our history starting in the now, I mean, as far as us writing, our writing and civilization started in the Nile Delta, the Nile Valley civilization. Many of you that don't know what I'm talking about, you can look it up. But we have to get serious about getting this chronology to our people and using what the ancestors left us to help get us out of this situation. I came into this with this big bright idea that, hey, you know, once I found out about the history, what can we do? It's a video where Dr. Clark said, man, we need to start making underwear or something. We need to get started. They already gave us the history. Anybody that you listening to now are regurgitators of what Dr. Ben and Dr. Clark have already put forward. You have some students that's directly under him that's still towing the line and still on the course, like Brother Reggie, Shaka Amos. I would say the SETI disappointed me by deviating and trying to put the youth first instead of going with the nature's course, which is elders lead, not youth. Young Pharaoh does not have enough information to lead our species anywhere. He's a kid. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not denoting young Pharaoh's brilliance at his age, because at 21, 23, or however old, I didn't know that. I was still embedded deep in the streets at that point. When I didn't learn about this historical point until I got into my late 30s. But I was able to do something with it to try to help my people. A lot of people don't know, but I'm the founder of Pan-African Designs and Apparel. I'm the one. My legacy will be me putting Hey Roof on the flag. I believe that's what my legacy will be. That's what my people will remember me for, was putting the Hey Roof back to the forefront, image-wise. We have a lot of people doing the work as far as like the historical work. I don't consider myself a historical teacher, which maybe I may be a little bit more historically aware than most, but I don't consider myself to be a historical teacher. I don't know enough information to be able, like as far as dates and stuff like that, to be able to just, off the top of my head, give you certain dates and stuff like that. Now I know like the most important dates for me to chronologically get myself back to my root, but I would rather defer to brothers like Mfudishi, Juhudi Mas the Elder. I would defer to Riketi Amen, to Kai Kilimanjaro, and his wife Ife, and my brother Yara Neb. I would, as far as history, I would defer to brothers like Shaka Amos, Brother Reggie. Those are the people that I look to for historical guidance. As far as like, if I need to know something about our history, I would look to those brothers brothers and sisters, because they are honorable and keep keeping the chronology in order. Brothers like Brother Johanna, the ISUPK, people that's in the Morris doctrine, people that's in the Hebrew doctrine, people in the Christian doctrine, they are disingenuous if they are aware of our Nile Valley history, to not start our history at the beginning. Now, I want to say, before I learned this history, for most of us that found out about the Nile Valley history, the Nile Valley civilization, we were Christians. We went with what Europeans told us where the story began. They started us off at the beginning. The beginning of Adam and Eve. You see what I'm saying? You start history off at the beginning. You don't start history off in the middle. Like, how are we going to understand history? We're confused because we don't have this story from its inception, from the beginning. We have history starting from when Europeans came into power. And they demonized our history by saying that we were enslavers of Jesus Christ. But the people that they're telling you that was the enslavers of Jesus Christ, or were actually the Africans that gave the Europeans, the Greeks and Romans, the history and the ability to be able to read and write, map the stars, do mathematics, do surgical procedures, and so forth. It's our ancestors from the Nile Valley region, the Nile Delta, that gave these people this information. The frustrating part about this is that our people, if I'm telling you this, you won't even believe me because of the indoctrination. I don't have a reason to lie to my people. I want us to get on the right page. Because really, you got to think about this. If you keep telling your kids that it's Santa Claus, and you know it's not Santa Claus, you are doing them a disservice. So once you learn about this history, you are doing the next generation a disservice if we continue with the lie. We have to tell our next generation the truth, so by the time they start having offspring, they can give them the truth from the inception. I wish that I could have given my offspring the historical truth from the inception. That way they wouldn't be that much further behind. We are behind because we're historically behind. And with I don't know if the monetization that these brothers, the monetization dollars, I personally believe that the monetization dollars that these brothers are getting, because they're getting like 20,000 hits, 100,000 hits. I mean, they don't even necessarily have to charge us for lectures. we're paying them anyway by viewership and by clicks. We're paying those brothers to view their content. So why should we have to pay? And I mean, why would you have to pay to get your history anyway? That's like church. You know, that's what the church does. And with being as though we're in last place, I don't think that our ancestors intended for us to have to pay for our historical information. I don't think that is even right. Now, y'all, some people say, well, dang, brother, you selling apparel and stuff based off of the information, but so is the European. They're selling our information, but they're selling us like the gods of Egypt. A lot of the imagery that you see on a lot of other people's clothing, like the Levi's or a lot of other apparel, they're using our imagery to make income off of. But I believe, you know, it's up to us to use our own imagery. What my plan is, let me just get to this. What my plan was and is to use Heru to get us out of this situation. I think that the ancestors left these, not just this image, but this is what my deal is. I want to use Heru to get us out of this situation that we in. It can be used to teach, and it can be used to economically give us a base to start doing some of the stuff that we need to do. Like how do you think that that's possible? I'm just saying, using like a question that maybe a lot of people that's viewing the video or that will view the video. Well, how do you figure that you can use a damn image to get us out of this situation? Okay, let me tell you how. Now, trust me, I'm in a wheelchair now, and a lot of people say, well, damn, brother, you always on the internet talking. Well, trust me, I didn't get in a wheelchair by just being on the internet or being behind a damn computer screen. I once upon a time was very street active in the destruction of our people, but unknowingly based because I was a young species of a young man or a young person, and the elder European establishment preys on young Africans that by miseducating us and then putting certain avenues for revenue for us to gravitate to sustain ourselves. I was one of those people that fell for that bait. But you know, with wisdom comes understanding. I understand what was done, and now I'm trying to give back and reach back to the younger brothers, like the brothers in Chicago that's killing each other off and not understanding that only thing the European is gonna do, they're gonna wait till y'all weaken each other, and then they're gonna come in and swoop in and take care of y'all. Instead of us procreating to get strength, we're killing each other off. We're not procreating at a fast enough rate to sustain ourselves, and that's detrimental to us. But I'll talk about that on another time. But as far as this monetization, if you look at what these brothers are doing by putting brothers like General Yohana, who else? A lot of the Moors that they continue to have on the platform. There's no need to put people that we've already discussed their doctrine with. We've already got the chronology of the time they come into existence. There's no need to continue talking about that. It's time to start talking about what we're going to do, set forth a plan for what we're going to do for the next 2 years, to where we can start showing the people that are not Pan-Africans that we have actually done something for the community. Because until we become the example for the people, they're not going to listen. They're going to stay in church and stay in those mosques. But until the people that's representing red, black, and green actually put forth a plan that they can see, they're not going to listen. So, how can we use Heru? Okay, I've started a brand based on our historical imagery. Heru represents African royalty from the very inception. That bird behind you, let me move my head for a second. The bird behind you, you've seen it before. You know what I'm saying? But you've seen it in a bald eagle form. A lot of us, because we're not globally aware of that image, you can look on the Mexican flag. You can look on the presidential flag. You can look on the presidential seal. You can look on your passport. You can look at the Russian presidential seal. And many other, Morocco. You can look at many other countries, and you will notice that all of those particular countries, they use that particular bird to represent their royalty. But what we got to do is go back and find out the source of where that bird comes from. And when you find out where the source of that bird comes from, you will find that it comes from your people. How I can get you, how I can prove it, and how I can get it to make sense to you is I'll ask the question: why did they erase our memories for 400 years? Then you look at the presidential seal, then look at that image, and then that should be a clue as to that, let you know I'm not lying. I'm not going to come to my people and lie. I would not even be making this video if it was not true. I used to be a Christian as well. I thought that I was a Christian because that's what I was indoctrinated with. But upon finding out this history, it's so devastating and it's so valuable that I tried to do something to try to wake my people up. You know what I'm saying? It is important and imperative that we get this to our people, family. And if we can wave that flag, see, this is what I envision. Okay, it's a lot of people. I thought it's a lot of people that's already aware of who Heru is. What I was thinking was the people that's already aware would be like, wow, we got something that we can actually represent. I have this on this shirt here. You probably can't see it, but Heru, I did this to fight. You know what I'm saying? But who am I fighting? I'm fighting Europeans. I'm in a wheelchair, but I'm fighting more so than a lot of you brothers that's not in no wheelchair. Y'all not really trying to fight these people. Now, why would I put this on this shirt? Because I know, on this particular style shirt, because I know that the European has, which is Ralph Lauren, Azar, which is the standard of fashion in most African American communities. As soon as we get some money, we're going to go and we're going to get us some Ralph Lauren or Azar or something like that. You know, some people will go to the high end and get the Gucci stuff and stuff like that. But most of the time, most of us brothers that call ourselves balling up really in the game or in the street culture, we go and get us a whole bunch of Ralph Lauren and we make the European rich. And he's not bringing anything back to our community to help us sustain ourselves. So I'm like, okay, well, why not use something of meaning to try to give the people that already know what Heru is, what I would want to call, I would want to call it maybe like something like a conversation piece, something for when, you know, when somebody walks up to you and they see this on your shirt or they see that or see it on you, you wearing it, they'll be like, man, wow, I like that. What is that? And that gives the people that's already aware of the information the opportunity to teach those that aren't aware. So we're supposed to be teaching the people that aren't aware about our history, letting them know, hey, man, this is an African brand. We're trying to fight the European system, you know, letting them know that, hey, we're not making money from that. And I named it Pan-African Designs to deter non-Africans from wearing our apparel and also for the people to be able to hold me accountable. Because if I name it Pan-African Designs, that means that I'm supposed to be doing Pan-African things. Like, for instance, say if I were to become as rich as Ralph Lauren, what do you think, what am I supposed to do with the money? I'm supposed to open up not only just clothing stores for Pan-African Designs, I envision us doing other things with the money, like opening up corner stores, opening up laundry mats, opening up hair care, all of the things that we're being the other non-African species are using the predator to sustain themselves on. We're supposed to be doing restaurants, and eventually, as we move up the ladder, grow our own grocery store. But I looked at that, and I said, you know what? The problem with that, and I couldn't use an excuse because we support Europeans. I was thinking, well, the reason why I'm not getting support is because we don't have money. That's not the case. The reason I have the support is because people don't know the information. So that's what I need to do. I need to let y'all know that this is represent African royalty from our. This is the first image of African royalty, and Europeans took that image and they came into America and they used it for their royalty. At the same time, erasing our memory to where we wouldn't be able to recognize that this is our stuff. The Washington Monument, which is, they call it in Greek terminology, it's an obelisk, which in African terminology it's a tekenu. That represents African male. It represents the male principle of procreation. It represents the thallus. It represents a penis. You know, and a lot of people don't understand that. But we dealt with nature. We did not deal with religion. We dealt with spirituality. We dealt with nature. Everything that we do has to make sense. If it doesn't make sense, it's not dealing with African spirituality. So what I wanted to do was I was trying to use Heru, basically a flag and all of this to create revenue so that I can start doing some of the things that we need to do. I wanted to start off with going because I don't think that we are because we're starting from the bottom. I think that we should have possibly start opening up corner stores and then using red, black, and green or whatever type. We have to use our national or our family colors, just like the Mexican use the red, white, and green. The European uses the red, white, and blue. The Asian uses the white and red, or whatever color their flag represents for their particular species. Our colors have been demonized, and we're afraid to fly them. If we fly, we know that we're going to be ridiculed and called racist, which is a spell word. It's nothing racist about loving yourself and being species that are African first. Every other species does it, so we should be allowed to do it without impunity. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to use the image to start like the corner stores, grocery store. The corner stores, laundromat, and hair care products. Then once we get that foothold, we can use the economics and the income from the businesses that's already established, using the red, black, and green, using our imagery to start putting a pool in together to maybe start funding some schools. See, we can't do anything if we don't have nothing to fund this stuff. So we got to use tangible products to fund what we need to get done. We're on the European platform, which like a lot of our stuff is being suppressed. Like I don't even think that a lot of people have even seen my brand because I think that they suppress who actually sees it. Like if I share something on Facebook, it's a very minimal amount of people that actually even know that we have a brand that's in rival and competition with European brands. Like we have a large print that we can use for like the sporting stuff. Like the Heru image, we can use that for our youth football leagues. We can use it for all type of things that we need to try to sustain ourselves. I want to touch on something that's unconventional that a lot of people don't think about. Here in America, we're dealing with a lack of understanding and comprehension of who our enemy is and what the tactics that they're using to keep us in last place. What they do is they put us in a situation where procreation is not conducive for us. Okay, they tell us if you're not able to take care of a child, then don't procreate. Then they put us in last place economically to where that's not going to be a good idea for us to procreate. Okay, if you do your research, you'll see that the average European household or the average European makes around $90,000 a year, as opposed to the average African household making $15,000 to $20,000 a year. Well, if an African American male is getting $15,000 a year and he gets put on child support, and child support is eating up maybe $6,000 a year, that leaves him with $9,000 to sustain himself throughout the year. That's not going to work. Whereas if a European gets on child support, and they say they go by percentage, but if I'm making $90,000 a year and I give my child $10,000 of it, I can still sustain myself with the aid. Or if I had to give them all $20,000, I can still sustain myself with the $70,000. We can't sustain ourselves with $9,000 a year, family. And our queens, because of the miseducation, they don't even know that this is being done. And I'm not saying that the brothers that have just totally walked out on their child for whatever reason don't need to be held accountable. But we have to come up with some kind of an outside system, separate from separate from what we're dealing with now, to combat this. An unconventional way. Observation of other outside non-African species. Now, a lot of us that's in our late 40s or so forth, or that's been on the planet long enough to observe this, remember when we were damn near like second as far as population, or at least it seemed like we were. Mexicans wasn't like a majority population like they are now, or they wasn't really a threat as far as population-wise in our communities. But what we did was we observed them procreating at a massive rate, and we demonized their behavior for how they were living. It seemed like they were living in poverty. I mean, you have 4, 5, 6 kids, and you can't. And it seemed like, but they wasn't living in a lavish type of a lifestyle, but they were able to take care of themselves. We looked at that and we demonized that. They got 3 and 4 strollers. They got 8 or 9 people in the car. All of the stereotypical type of language that we use towards them. But if you look at them now, these people have banks, they have temporary services, they have grocery stores, they have everything that they need to sustain themselves. Now, how do they do this? I mean, they can sustain themselves without having Europeans help them. How do they do that? Because they have the population to where they don't need Europeans. So what I'm saying, family, if we had a massive procreation campaign to where we started just having 10 Africans, and for every person you have 10 babies apiece. If we did that for 50 years, we would have a pop. Maybe I don't even think it took the Hispanics that long. If we did that for maybe 20 to 25 years of that type of 10-to-1 ratio, we would have enough population to sustain our own business. And that's what we got to start thinking in a different, unconventional way. Like, okay, we can't go and shoot the police that's shooting us. But what if we told Europeans, okay, if y'all want to shoot us and kill us without impunity or without repercussions, or not holding your people accountable for obvious documented murder, then what we're going to do is we're going to go on a massive procreation campaign where we're going to start just procreating without birth control, without abortion, without interbreeding. We're going to just procreate as many Africans as we can on this planet until we out-procreate y'all. That is how you fight unconventionally. What do you think Europeans would say if we took that approach? That might be something that would make them listen. And I'm not really concerned with them listening. I think we should do that anyway. But that is a hell of a threat that you could put. That's a hell of a tactic that we can use. So, I mean, I don't want to deviate too much and I don't want to go too long, man. But like I said, a lot of people don't know who I am. I'm a genuine African brother that really is sincere about us coming together, man. I mean, I love my people. I mean, I'm tired of us being in last place. I'm tired of watching people play with us. And I'm talking about not just non-Africans, but the people that's supposed to be leading us. And I guess it's our fault. Maybe it's my fault because I didn't step up long before now with stuff that I've been seeing. But every time that you step up and you try to, speak up against injustice, especially within our own, they don't like that. They don't. It's like they call you a hater. But man, I can't afford to sit back and continue and allow disrespect of Dr. Ben and Dr. Clark and the information that they brought, because man, if y'all know how much how valuable that information is to our people, you can't allow people to just continuously, frivolously disrespect something as valuable as our information. This Hotep niggas self demonization of the Pan African movement from young brothers that's got into it and frustrated because they don't see no movement. We gotta stop that. Talk to somebody privately. You can call me, man, if you frustrated, and I get frustrated too with lack of support. But I can only say it's lack of support because I don't think that our people even know what I'm trying to do for our people. Don't worry about me getting rich because I'm gonna transcend, family. I'm not gonna be here forever. So we can't hate. Don't hate on what I'm trying to do. Try to help me, because I need help, man. We need help. I'm looking for other people to invest so your family can be straight. Like, if you believe in what I'm trying to do, we do wholesaling. A 60-40 split, because I gotta pay for the actual business part of it, as far as like the product so I can refurbish and keep this going. Like, okay, like what I'm saying is, it's not about the dollar. Don't think of me as trying to get rich off of a dollar. Think of what I'm trying to do is the money that I'm getting. I'm trying to put more falcons out. I'm trying to put more Heru. I'm trying to put more imagery of Heru out. When you give me money, I'm gonna go and reinvest it back into the business so we can get this out. If we waving that flag here in America, we have a large influence of Africa, of the rest of the Africans throughout the globe. Once we start waving the red, black, and green flag with the Heru on it, our brothers and sisters and our family back on the continent is gonna ask, well, what is that? They are just as much indoctrinated and lost as us. Once we start waving that flag and start teaching them, you know, this is what it is and this is what we've been tricked at, then we can all get off of what the misinformation that the European has provided to us and get back on the right information. Okay, family, so my Heru energy is up high. I'm starting to sweat because, you know, our heart is made of a piece of the sun. And it's more and more, if I put out this energy, the hotter and hotter I get. So that's my cue to let you know that I've done my job. I put enough information out there for now to introduce myself and introduce the brand. I need as much people to support me as possible. We offer wholesaling. If you're in a certain part of the territory, you got a certain territory that you want to start to distribute this apparel out, the flags out, get in contact with me. And we can set that up to where you can start being an actual distributor in your territory. The reason why I want to do it this way, because I don't want European investment. I want, if you're in California and you're the first person in your territory to be a distributor, then you distribute for California. If you're the first person that's in New York that wants to be a distributor, then you'll be a distributor for New York. But you have to have finances to be able to do this as well. And I will give you exclusive rights to your territory to where you can just be the exclusive distributor of Pan-African designs in your area. And that way you will be able to sustain your family and get this out to our people. And then as we come together, we'll be able to start opening up the other businesses that I was talking about, using red, black, and green theme. That's going to be important. That all the stores, like 7-Eleven, we should have a chain of stores with red, black, and green within maybe 10 years, where we don't even go, you know, to other stores. And within our community, we don't go to the Arab or to the Asian for our, just to the corner store stuff that we need. We should, once we see that red, black, and green, that means pull off. That's us. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we need to do. Now, so I love y'all, family, and I hope this wasn't too long and I wasn't too winded. And I hope to get some feedback from the family. and contact me with my on my email on our email, which is Pan African Designs with an S, which is PANAFRICANDESIGNS.com. Contact me, family, and I hope to hear from somebody, man, because we need to start trying to set some type of plan. And hopefully I can get somebody to try to participate with me on some of these so y'all can bounce some ideas so we can start getting stuff forward. I have some guests that I in the future, like Takai Kilimanjaro, Yara Neb, and some of our most prominent elders that maybe see how we can bounce this off of them. So, hotel family, and I hope you get some good feedback from this. All right, Black Power.